Yes, live in full effect. You already know what it is. E.T. Ali in the flesh. Inshallah, y'all can hear me. Assalamu alaikum to the believers. You feel me? Man of my word, as promised, back again for another one. You dig? Going in on my manhood monologues. Straight talk Saturdays. You already know what it is. We ain't gonna be here long this evening. I almost didn't do it. You feel me? Had to fly through. You know what I mean? While I'm doing my ones and twos, I said, let me go ahead and tap in real quick. You feel me? With the Black Dollar Familia. You understand me? Yeah. Happy Black History Month to everybody out there. You know what I'm saying? Worldwide. Black is not local. Black is not regional. Black is not national, international, or global. Black is universal, beloved. That's really dope. So happy Black History Month. 29 days in the month this year. Leap year, as you know. You feel me? Hold on one second. Hold on. Give me a second. Had to make a minor adjustment real quick. Appreciate you bearing with me. But we gonna go ahead and get started, get to it, get through it, get at it, and get past it. God damn it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, happy Black History Month. We in this thing. You feel me? I know y'all could smell it in the air and hear the rumblings, family. They say World War III is on the horizon. Y'all see what's going on, you know what I'm saying? Over there in Israel, as they call it. You know what I mean? We all know who the real children of Israel are. Assalamu alaikum to Minister Farrakhan, the most honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and all the student ministers that uphold the standard. You feel me? Who've been teaching knowledge of self for the longest. Shout out to all the Hebrew Israelites. You feel me? Everybody that's into the Kemetic science. All of that. Spirituality and high consciousness. But like I was saying, World War III is on the horizon. You know what I mean? You can see it going on. War of ideas, war of ideologies, war of religions, war of currencies, war of geography, and the physical war, which is inevitable. So I'm just encouraging everybody to keep their head on a swivel, stay prayed up, make sure you find yourself on the right side of right, on the right side of history, you feel me? Because it's definitely going down live in full effect. You know what I mean? Famine and pestilence in the streets, you know, new diseases and whatnot coming through, you know what I mean? Airborne. What can you do, man? Made in the lab, you know what I mean? But they can never ever destroy the original man and woman, you feel me? But they damn sure getting an A for effort. Believe that. So yeah, make sure you stay tuned in, stay prayed up. Want for your brother what you want for yourself. Check yourself, check your spirit, check your strength, check your heart. You know what I mean? Because war is physical, but it always starts in the mental. Remember that. The scripture says the race is not to the swift, to the fast, to the strong, but to he or she that can endure to the end. That's the one that's going to win, or the ones who will win and be found victorious and most glorious. And while we're on the brink of World War III, you probably can feel it in the air. They also speak about the possibility of a civil war here in the United States of America. You feel me? They're talking about how Texas is seceding. They could potentially secede from the Union and all of that. You know? So while they out here having wars, telling us that we're anti-Semitic when we are the original Semites and Kemites, right? Been here since the beginning of time, beginning of civilization. While it's a world war on the horizon, it's also a civil war. And no nation or civilization in the history of history and humanity has ever, to my knowledge, fought a civil war and fought foreign wars and international wars at the same time. So it would seem like a no-brainer. There's no way that they can be found victorious. We were taught in the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad that America wouldn't win another war. And if you look at it, she didn't win Vietnam. I mean, what was Desert Storm? Do we even need to mention? the war in Iraq was never really won. This war on terrorism that, you know, they trumped up and charged up and put a battery in the back of the American people, created Islamophobia and all of this nonsense and malarkey out here. They never even won that war. You know, they just pillaged the indigenous village and extracted all their resources for selfish and political gains. And this has happened with every single sitting president, definitely in my lifetime, but before I was even born. I was born in 88. Do the math on the date, you feel me? So yeah, I don't see how your illustrious government thinks that it's going to be able to win a civil war and an international war. You're going to have a hard enough time just 1-1. But this is where we find ourselves, in a nation where my ancestors and, you know, the melanated people, the darker people, built this country, you know what I mean? And it still stands on the backs of the descendants of slaves, the descendants of the native people. I'm not trying to get preachy, but the truth must be told and not sold, you feel me? So I'm just gonna speak my speech like only E.T. Ali can do indeed, you know what I mean? And keep in mind that in these perilous times, racism is still alive. Do not be deceived. Do not be fooled by the fact that we got technology and they gave you a black president and, you know, all of this that they have portrayed in the name of equality. There is no equality. There's no equality in nature and there's no equality in politics. It's just a fact. So keep that in mind, because recently I was on YouTube, you know, and I caught this YouTube short of this lady, this Amazon female. And I guess she is in the army or used to be in the army. Anyway, on the short, she's in the woods shooting. And next thing you know, as she's shooting, she's talking about how when she was in Iraq, how they used to kill women and children and babies and elderly and sick people, and, you know, some of their methods of attack were very cowardly indeed. So she was speaking on how when she came back, it was people, you know, that had some disparaging things to say about her and her fellow comrades. Which, by the way, shout out to, you know, everybody in the armed forces, but we got to call a spade and a blade a blade. Y'all are not on the right side of history. And time will prove those of us that have this sentiment correct. Just keep living, if you may. But anyway, she was going on to say how, you know, they were killing babies over there, innocent babies. Mind you, this is a female who claims to be a mother. So I couldn't resist myself. I had to get in the comments and speak to the level of cowardice and the level of arrogance, because whether it's war or not, it's rules to war. You know what I mean? It's ways to prove yourself honorable and dishonorable in war. You bragging about killing babies and you a mother is sickly indeed. But we talking about the Amazon cave beast. Need I say more? So obviously when I jumped in the comments, you know what I mean, they was all small things to large kings. You had people in their comments bigging her up. Oh, we appreciate your sacrifice and yada yada, armed forces, you know, all of that, which, like I said, you know, somebody got to do it. But if you're not fighting a just war, then what are you doing anyway? You feel me? So yeah, I just couldn't help but notice, because we're in 2024. And, you know, there are those that are Americans, patriots in the armed forces. They will try to convince you and me that racism is a thing of the past. But when you get close enough to them, or when they quote unquote let their hair down, you see it's very much alive and well in their ideologies and their concepts and in their policies. And they teaching their children how to shoot. I got a line where I say, they training their babies to shoot up our church. Black mothers, stop teaching your babies to twerk. You feel me? Because while y'all goddamn dancing to Ice Spice or Sexy Red or whoever y'all listening to out there, these devils is showing their children how to shoot your children. You ready for that? Are y'all prepared for what's coming? What's really already here? We on the brink of it boiling over. Be clear. By the way, this track you hear in the background, side note, cheap plug, I ain't buying that shit. EP 3-peat on the way. The ET Ali 3-peat is on the way. 1.0, I ain't buying that shit. You know what I'm saying? This gonna be one of the tracks that you hear on there. Shout out to every producer that's Black Dollar, every producer that show love, you know what I'm saying, in the instrumentation and the production, which is my catalog. Especially this project I'm working on, very near and dear to my heart. So just side note, that's what you hear in the background. You know what I'm saying? I've been running around. You might have heard it. My speaker is actually about to die. So I'm going to shut that down. You know what I'm saying? Just wanted to give you a little taste of, you know what I mean, some of the instrumentals, like I said, that I'm going to have on this project. But yeah, it's crazy, family. You got to hold your head and protect your neck at all times. What they say in boxing, protect yourself at all times, family. Because they'll smile in your face and have a heart full of hate. Straight like that. Watch the company you keep. Watch the company you keep. You might end up in bad shape if you got too many squares in your circle, baby. Really though. So yeah, keep that in mind. We living in a time of karmic cycles. For me personally, I'm celebrating, you know, or I don't know, whatever you want to call it, 5 years of marriage. 10 years ago, almost to the day, I met the mother of my son, you know, his biological mother. 10 years later, he lived with me 4 times, and she's found herself on child support as a result of her own unfair dealings. You know, you can't stop karma. That's one thing about it. 15 years ago, shout out to everybody in Texas that showed love and everybody around the country when we was traveling. I moved to Texas, you know what I mean, and had a bunch of experiences that changed my life, you know what I mean? These is facts, you know? God bless everybody that was with us on the journey that's not here today. Straight, the long way. You know what I mean? Whether male or female. Boots on the ground, 10 toes down. They was in the struggle. They not here, but we still here. We got to be found carrying on tradition, family. It's only right. Because as these karmic cycles come around, if we don't position ourselves properly, we're going to have to go through the same trial and tribulation again. And I don't like repeating myself, you know, unless I'm performing and all that. Or talking to my son, you know, repetition is the father of learning, as they say. But I don't like repeating myself to grown people. Especially when it's things that shouldn't have had been said the first time. You should know better. When you know better, you show better. So beware of the karmic cycles. Beware how you treat people. Beware how you allow people to treat you. Beware of how you treat yourself. How we found thinking of ourselves and feeling about ourselves. Because that's going to come around. People see how you feel about you. And they'll treat you accordingly. You see? So it's time to just start vibrating on the highest level possible. Why not? If not us, then who? If not now, then when, right? Yeah, be clear. Karmic cycles, like I said, it's a leap year, election year, year of the dragon. Every 4 years, they put us through the same cycle. They tell us it's the most important decision of your life. Damn, every 4 years, it's the same most important decision of my life because y'all put 2 new devils up here for me to pick from? Huh? I mean, the choices that you have to choose from with these candidates is sickening. Shout out to all the people in the black community, quote unquote, that's coming to the realization that the Democrats have not been our friend for the past 50, 60 years. But they have been doing nasty work on my people. So shout out to those that's waking up, you know, becoming wide awake and aware, not hashtag woke, wide awake and aware, you see. God body consciousness, enhancing, enriching, empowering spirituality. Shout out to y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it's real live. And in this election year, don't get caught up in the propaganda. Please don't be found arguing with your flesh and blood relatives, family members, friends, and loved ones. about politicians that if they saw you on the street, they wouldn't speak to you or me unless you had some money for their campaign or unless you was a big public figure name. How dare you be sitting at the table at Thanksgiving knowing you don't see your people but a handful of times a year, some of us, and want to debate politics? How dare you, especially those of you, what my boy Curtis Mayfield say, we people who are darker than blue? Yeah, especially you. How dare you debate with your beloved about the affairs of the Caucasoid who don't care about me or you? They gives a damn. But we'll sell each other up the river just to be in good graces with them. Not worried about being in good graces with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, astaghfirullah al-azim. See, that's where we defer. That's where me and a lot of people, that's where we part ways. Because I ain't going. You feel me? And those of us that got health, wealth, and knowledge of self, we not going. We not going with you, familia. But we gonna see how it work out for you when you get there. And you gonna see how our mission and disposition work out for us when we get to our destination. You dig? The Holy Quran says, they plan, but surely Allah is the best of planners. You know? So we should be found planning and preparing, but we should also know that we're going to have to adapt with the times and roll with the punches, because you never know what's really coming. All we know is we need to be in alignment with universal law and inshallah be found doing the will of Allah. You see? So we've been talking for about 15, a little less than 20 minutes. We're going to get ready to wrap up because I got some things to do and it's getting dark outside. You feel me? I still got to handle a few affairs and all that. But be clear, thank you everybody for your support. You know what I mean? I'm a man of my word. Like I said, Straight Talk Saturdays. You know, I'm going to be coming through with my monologues and my doctrines, dissertations and all that, my exegesis, very analytical. I'm going to be picking specific subjects and breaking them down. Right now, I'm just touching on things and highlighting things. Truth be told, I just started going live on YouTube. If you know, you know. You know what I mean? I'm not even used to this. So as I'm getting used to it, y'all get used to it, and we'll get more familiar together. Shout out to everybody that's collaborating with us. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that's been Black DOLLAAR Edutainment from day one. You know what I mean? Whether they homegrown, Thieveland or Hydro, or whether they, you know, from a different part of the country or wherever you may be in the world. You know what I mean? Shout out to you if you got love for us and what we do. You know what I mean? Can't thank you enough. And I look forward to continuing to, you know, drop jewels and give you bars and raw content and continue to up the ante and push myself and, you know, take my catalog to new plateaus. Push the envelope, you know what I mean? Just like when you hit that gym, you got to push yourself to get stronger, right? Well, that's what we in it for, you know what I mean? And it's strength in numbers. But even when it seems like we're few, we outnumber the many. Because we on the side of the all in all. So we on the right side of right. So thank you again. I can't thank you enough. EP only way, E.T. Ali, EP 3P 1.0. I ain't buying that shit coming second or third quarter. You know what I mean? We just stirring the pot, putting the last little seasoning on, let it simmer, let it simmer. You know how to do. We about to serve dinner. Huh? You understand me? I've been doing this for a long minute. You feel me? I've been putting a lot of work in with this. So every time I drop, I'm excited. But this one in particular is just, I'm opening up more. You know, anybody that know me as I begin to land this plane, y'all know I usually don't cuss in my lyrics. No curses in my verses. My flow damn near perfect. Y'all know the vibes. But for this EP, I just wanted to get all the way in my grown man bag. Totally unfiltered, totally uncensored. I just want to let it all go. You know what I mean? And empty it all out. Touch on these subjects. Like I said, I'm going to make it documentary form. You know what I mean? The presentation is going to be spectacular. So wait for it. I appreciate your patience. Just wait on it, baby. Just wait on it. You know what I mean? Lastly, paying homage to the ancestors. Like I said, Black History Month, y'all know the vibes. You know what I'm saying? Where would we be without Carter G. Woodson? You know what I mean? Who brought us the concept of Black History Week, and then of course they expanded it to a month. But Black history can't be capsulated in any time frame because there's no beginning and no end. For the black man is God. If you know, you know. If you don't, Google might be your friend. Maybe. You got to do your research or your soul search and call me in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Let me know how that worked out for you. But shout out to everybody that know what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? And that's found trying to spread the good word and the gospel. Because like the scriptures say, you're not truly of the Most High until you want for your brethren and your sisterin what you want for self. You know what I mean? Where would we be without George Washington Carver? Oh, yeah, by the way, rest in peace, Apollo Creed in real life. I know it's a lot of us, it's like, man, I think the brother was like 76. You know what I mean? Passed on into the ancestral realm. You know what I mean? The Dr. Francis Cress Welsings of the world. Huh? Do your Googles. If you ain't read the ISIS papers, you're slipping. If you ain't read the miseducation of the Negro, you're slipping. I don't know what you're doing with your time and your life. And speaking of books, I'm still, putting the touches on my first piece of literature, and I'm enjoying that. But I'm taking my time with that. I done put out several albums. This is my first piece of literature. We gonna make sure we do it right. You know what I mean? So next Saturday, we gonna tap back in. This coming Tuesday, I will be back straight like that. Take your head off Tuesdays. You know what I'm saying? I dropped a little something last night. Shout out to all of y'all that tuned in and tapped in and been showing love. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do it for the love. You know what I mean? We gonna get money. If you a natural born hustler, you gonna get some money. You know what I mean? You gonna attract what's for you and inshallah repel what's not for you. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna get some bread regardless, but I do it for the love. I do it because I'm inspired, and I do it because I want you to be inspired. So I ain't gonna talk y'all to death. Familia, I came to speak life. You understand me? We gonna get ready to wrap this up. About 22 minutes in, you already know what it is. Mr. Muta Ali. I'ma tap in next week. Black Dollar. Holla. Assalamu alaikum, familia. Peace.